Chapter 1, July 1985. A mix of excitement and anxiety warred in Celeste Lantz as she brought the rig to a halt under a shade tree in her driveway. The mid-morning sun filled the lush green valley, dissolving last night's remaining fog that still clung to the rolling mountains. Their rental home, with its white clapboard siding and black shutters, was always a welcome sight, with a peek of Vin's wood shop from around the back. She loved this place, but none of it belonged to them. Maybe one day. She grabbed the bags of groceries and the yard sale items and headed for the steps that led to the porch. After she got the little ones out from under their dad's feet so he could begin his workday, she'd tend to the horse and rig. Time had an inconvenient way of slipping by. She couldn't wait to show Vin the things she'd found. But guilt for holding him up from his workday also clung to her. At 24 years old, she should be better at balancing her time. Laughter of little ones filled the air, sounding as if it was coming from the small fenced backyard. She set the groceries on the porch, keeping the yard sale items with her. A grin tugged at her lips and refused to let go. Late or not, Vin would be pleased. That man and books went together like a frosty glass of lemonade and a summer day. "Dad, get Dabber!" 4-year-old Stephen giggled while telling his dad to go quickly. What was Vin doing? She strode around the corner of the house. Vin wore a blue and white striped ball cap and sat inside a cardboard box that he'd apparently painted to look like a train while she was gone. Were the suspenders to his pants on his head instead of his shoulders? "Choo-choo!" Vin said over and over, making the appropriate noises. 1-year-old Drew was in his lap, patting his dad's face and babbling excitedly beyond recognition in any language. Stephen was behind his dad, his little arms clutched around his neck. "Dear God, I love this man," Celeste whispered. Drew wiggled out of his dad's arms, getting out of the box. Yep, suspenders on Vin's head and pants pulled up to his chest. He turned his head, grinning at her. She burst into laughter. "Vin Lantz, what are you doing?" Without missing a beat, he tugged on an imaginary cord. "Woo, woo, you're home!" "I am, none too soon, I see." "Too soon. I meant to return to looking all cool and suave before you saw me." "You missed that particular train. What are you wearing?" He shrugged, chuckling. "I'm a conductor of old, and these are my bib overalls." "I thought maybe you'd taken it on yourself to redesign the way Amish men wear their pants." When he stood, and she saw that the hem of his pants hit just below his knees while the waist was on his chest, she burst into laughter that wouldn't stop. Were those his father's pants? They were extra baggy, giving him enough room to pull them up high like that. He eased Stephen's feet to the ground, and both boys got in the box, making train noises. "Are you laughing at me?" His grin warmed her heart, but she started backing away. "You bet I am." He picked up his pace, striding toward her. She turned and took off running. He caught her from behind and lifted her feet off the ground. She squealed, "Put me down!" "Never." He mocked an evil laugh. "If you put me down, I'll give you a gift." Her words were jumbled through her laughter. "A gift, you say?" He set her down. "I'm being good now." He moved to stand in front of her. "Is it a kiss, despite how I look?" He lifted his brows in quick succession, teasing. She studied him, looking deep into his dark brown eyes. How had she thought he'd be displeased with her for running late? He grew serious. "What thoughts are behind those beautiful blue eyes, Celeste?" She shrugged. I thought you might be frustrated with me for leaving you responsible for the children too long. I know that if I were better organized, I wouldn't need to run to the store like this anyway, and now you're getting to today's work later than you should." "Nah." He removed the suspenders from his head and released them on his shoulders. Then he cupped her cheek. "That's not how I feel at all. Ever."